Good morning everyone, today is Monday, and today I'd like to talk about something that's on my mind. Let me get straight to the point. You may have noticed for the past 2 weeks that I haven't done too much vlogging. I did make a vlog last week, but honestly there wasn't much to that vlog. These random fire drills. Well, I guess this gives me some time to do some talking. This is like the perfect day weather-wise to have a fire drill. So it's not that I haven't had time to, or it's not that I didn't want to make vlogs over the past 2 weeks. It's just that I ran out of ideas, and you know, sometimes that happens. But this running out of ideas certainly doesn't come out of nowhere. I've actually seen a correlation between having to go to school and running out of creative things to think about or say. I think the reason for that is, when school starts, everything's kind of standardized, and I have a very structured way of looking at high school courses, which are pretty fact-heavy, and I approach these things in a very structured manner. Now, while that's very good for crystallized intelligence, it's not so good for fluid intelligence. Let me give you an example of one of the most standardized classes I have, chemistry. I was going to instinctually say calculus, but I've discovered that calculus requires a lot of critical thinking. But chemistry. So every few weeks we have a test. In between those tests we have labs, lectures, homework, same thing over and over again. And it's a very systematic way of solving problems. So there's not much room for creativity. Now that's not to say that no high school courses, allow for any creativity. I'm sure some do. For example, English. But there's also another problem involved with that. And that problem is very, very simple. San Francisco, Los Angeles. Wally. Creativity is hard to grade. You see, most teachers like to use an objective, unbiased way of grading, and that's perfectly understandable. Number crunching is easy, and you don't favor one idea over another just because maybe you agree with it to a further extent, or just because you think it's more unique. But this actually extends beyond the school world. It actually extends into the real world as well. So last night I was watching the new episode of The Simpsons. I actually have it running right now. It's called Elementary School Musical. And in this episode, Lisa goes to a performing arts camp, really likes it, and then later goes back to meet the camp counselors who are artists. And these counselors lived in this ratty apartment with no heat, and their job was making sandwiches at this Subway-like restaurant, and the only food they could eat were the sandwiches that they accidentally dropped on the floor. And there was this joke about, that they couldn't drop sandwiches on the floor on purpose. But anyway, all that was kind of to make a point that, well, artists don't make a lot of money. And I don't know if that's, really true or good representation, but it's certainly something to think about. You see, an artist's main job is to be creative. And certainly there are a lot of successful artists out there, but whether or not something that they create gains value in the world is totally dependent on how the world perceives it. Some things are definitely very valuable, other things not so much. So my overall observation and argument is that the reason that creativity isn't used or isn't valued as much in things like school and things even real life is because we really don't know how people are going to respond to the things that creative people create. But you know what? I don't actually think it matters. Yes, it's true that everyone needs money to live or even survive in this postmodern world. But despite what many, let's be honest here, Asian parents will say about this, I think the real reward that comes from any job isn't, well, it shouldn't be money. It should just be joy, satisfaction, that we've done something that we love and that also benefits other people in some way. So that, in a nutshell, is kind of my philosophy of looking into my future. But, I actually want this discussion to go on a little bit. Tell me what you think about this. And, we high school seniors actually do have to think about this a lot because we are thinking about long-term future plans and things like that. And I hope this vlog has also kind of explained why my recent vlogs have been progressing a little bit slower than usual. So that's all I have to say, everyone. Good night.